Thank you for tuning in to MacReview Television, and welcome to another brand new edition of the Taiwan Outlook, the program that presents Taiwan to the world. I'm your host, Rick Wu. For those of you who have been to Taiwan in the past, you will know the important role that American culture plays in the development of the society here. On today's program, we're delighted to have Mr. Scott Robinson, who's the director of the American Cultural Center in Taipei, to discuss cultural exchanges between Taiwan and the United States and his experiences working and living on the island. Welcome to the program, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you for the chance to be here.
Well, it's a delight to have you here on the program. I'm going to start off with a question that goes to the functions of the American Cultural Center. Can you just briefly describe for us what are some of the major goals and the missions for your cultural center in Taipei?
Well, the aim of the Cultural Center and of all of our cultural affairs work is to support American foreign policy by using cultural affairs.
Okay.
Here in Taipei, that means through our Cultural Center, we host a variety of programs, the goal of which is to enhance mutual understanding between Taiwan and the United States. Just to give you a few examples, these can be things like exchange programs, where we send people from Taiwan to do research and study in the United States. We bring Americans from the United States to do the same here. You might have heard of the Fulbright program, which is one of our longest-standing exchange programs.
Exactly, yes.
We also do traditional sort of cultural programs. If you think, when Americans talk about culture, usually we think of things like art or music, and we do those kinds of programs. Just last year, we brought the National Theater of the Deaf from the United States during the Taipei Deaf Olympics. And they came and they performed here. We had several art exhibitions that came from the United States to Taiwan. We also had a music program where an American jazz quartet came and played all over the island. So those are some of our programs. In addition to exchanges and arts, we do speaker programs, which is when Americans come to Taiwan and they will speak on really a variety of issues. We had a great program this year for African American History Month. A political scientist from the United States came and talked about African American history and issues in the United States. We've also had environmentalists come. People from AIT go out and talk as well. Very soon, I'll do a quick plug for this coming up. Our director, director of the American Institute, will be speaking at Lunging Tai Cultural Foundation in Taipei.
Good.
So those are some of the programs. Just lastly, to mention a couple more, we have an information resource center, which is otherwise known as a library, which is a place where scholars in Taiwan can do research. We have a staff that help them by doing online research. We also support English language teaching programs. We don't teach English like we did in the old days. Many people remember our cultural center on Nanhai Lu in Taipei as a place where you could study English. We're not doing that right now just because it's the staffing that's required is really tremendous, as well as the space that's required. But we do support English language teaching programs in Taiwan. As well.
But you support them by providing teaching materials or subsidies for some of the teachers that are qualified to teach?
Yeah, we provide teaching materials, and we bring Americans periodically to teach teachers. So we're doing a program this summer in Taipei County and in Miaoli
also
to help teachers there, to gain experience from an American teacher. And lastly, because Taiwan is one of the largest sources of foreign students to the United States, many people think it's the largest per capita source of students, and it historically has been a great connection between Taiwan and the United States. We do a lot. We make a lot of efforts to promote U.S. education in Taiwan. So we put out publications like this one, Education in Brief, where we talk to students about ways to find, unbiased, broad information about studying in the United States.
Good.
That's some of what we do.
That's quite a bit. And Scott, like I said at the beginning of the program, the role the American culture has played in Taiwan's development is very, important and comes into all facets of the society. Given the fact that we've already got this, very important foundation of relations at different dimensions, how would the functions of the American Cultural Center be different? For example, as compared to a center that's located somewhere, in the Middle East or other parts of the world, when maybe the connection, at least on surface, is not as intimate as the case in Taiwan. How would how would the center try to supplement, or continue to support such an important foundation of, relations between the two sides?
Well, I think in Taiwan and the United States' case,
yes.
Culture and cultural exchange is really integral to our relationship.
Yes.
And you mentioned, historically, it's always been an important part of it. When I read about, prominent Taiwan politicians or scientists who
or business
in the United States,
yes.
it makes me they had a chance to, experience the United States firsthand,
of
so
course.
that when we then connect with them, it just gives us a chance to get to a closer relationship,
of course.
Even faster.
Okay.
So I really think that in Taiwan, it is integral to our relationship.
Okay.
In every part of the world, it's going to be a little different. I mean,
course.
I've had the chance to work in mainland
India.
China and India
okay.
and in Taiwan, and it's really hard to compare places because the situations are, the histories are just different.
Yes.
But in all those places, there were different types of programs, I think, that succeeded. Maybe more than others.
Yes.
So it was a really good. I really do think, though, that cultural affairs enables you to connect on so many different levels, also with so many different types of people. A lot of our programs in the public diplomacy world, which is what my type of work is called,
sure.
Are aimed at young people. So it's not our only audience, but I think that connecting with young people by having a speaker come or showing a film is just a tremendous opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So I really like to use culture to reach as broad an audience as possible.
Yeah, and also you probably serve millions of Taiwanese, young and old, in Taiwan who are interested in the American culture. Who are your major target? And or is it across the board? And what are some of the feedbacks that you've been getting after providing service to them to let them know better about America, about American culture?
Well, we don't have a single sort of target audience. As I said, young people, but we also do,
for more senior people,
programs with scholars, with senior people.
Yes.
We had a speaker program this morning with several scholars who'd come from the United States.
Good.
And the age range in that room went from high school age to a gentleman who I didn't ask, but I think he was over 80. So that's really the range of audiences. As I said, the goal of our programs are to support broader U.S. foreign policy goals.
Of course.
One of which is to enhance mutual understanding. So we try to fill in. I mean, obviously in Taiwan, you have a lot of American movies.
Of course.
People see American television.
Certainly.
People watch American sports.
Yeah.
But
I still American food.
Eat if you want to. But there's still range, I think, in there to give people a more nuanced understanding of the United States. I mean, any country you can't just sum up in a few easy words or a few watch a few movies and really understand the culture. So what we're really trying to do is to fill in the gaps, I guess, so to speak, that people might have, and to really give them a more balanced understanding of the United States.
Okay, good. And if for those of the people who are watching our program now, and they would like to get better use of the services that you offer, what would be the recommendations or suggestions that you can make to them?
You can look at our website. AIT. We have a Chinese and an English website. That has a calendar of our monthly events. Most of them are open to the public. They're not all at the cultural center. I mean, I think that's something, about Taiwan. And we talk about the old days of the Nanhai Lu Cultural Center, which, for those of the audience who don't remember it, or who haven't been there, it was a center in the middle of Taipei that was in a historic building.
Of course.
And had a lot of events and was sort of a center for activities. We still are, But a lot of our events, you know, again, times have changed. We could no longer use that building, unfortunately, just because of the aging of the building.
Yes.
So we moved to the Guomao Dalo, International Trade Building in downtown Taipei, which gives us a really nice position and a very nice facility. You know, the actual library space that we have is a little bit different from Nanhailu. We do a lot of things online, and that's sort of one of our big initiatives right now, is to find ways to use new media. You know, AIT has a Facebook site that is one of the fastest growing Facebook sites in the world, actually.
Yes.
Feel free to friend it if you're into Facebook. And you know, we're trying to find ways like that to reach people. You know, I think in every country in the world, the American Cultural Center has a little bit of a different function. And I think in Taiwan right now, we're really serving as a platform for the exchange of ideas. Sometimes we will do programs that aren't at the Cultural Center. We will try to do them with outside institutions like universities, or this speech that our director is going to give is at the Lunging Tai Cultural Foundation. So we will work with organizations in Taiwan to collaborate.
Well, before we wrap up this first part, Scott, is there anything that you would like to share with us that would give us a sense of what are the plans or activities that you have in mind that will further reinforce or modify the functions of the center?
Well, we are going to continue to have you know, programs in all of those areas. Arts programs, speaker programs,
of course, information,
you know,
education
exchange. So I really do encourage people to stay connected with us through our website. And I love to get ideas for programs
feedback
from people. One of our, I mean, without like local partners in Taiwan, without organizations with whom we can work, we wouldn't exist. It's one of the really tremendous things about Taiwan. You know, I mentioned the Fulbright program, which is a bilateral program funded by the United States and Taiwan. It wouldn't exist without the support of Taiwan. So, you know, if there are organizations or people who are interested in our activities, and particularly interested in our speakers or co-sponsoring activities,
take the initiative and get in touch. All right.
Please.
We're going to take a short break on our program. We'll be right back to the Taiwan Outlook. I'll see you in just a few minutes.